Okay, so right in the heart of Buenos Aires, there's this skyscraper. But it's not just concrete and steel. It's a story. It's a journey. You could even call it a poem cast in stone. We're talking about the incredible Palacio Barolo.
So, can a building actually be a poem? Well, in Buenos Aires, there's a skyscraper that was built not just with blueprints, but with the actual stanzas of a 14th century epic. It's an ancient story turned into a modern icon.
So come with me on this journey. We're going to go through this building, and it's designed as a literal floor-by-floor climb from the depths of hell through purgatory all the way into the light of paradise.
But first, you gotta ask, why? Why build this architectural allegory? Why go to all the trouble of turning a poem into a skyscraper?
Well, it all started with two Italian immigrants, Luis Barolo, a textile magnate, and Mario Palanti, this visionary architect. They saw what was happening in Europe after World War I. They saw the devastation, and they were terrified that Europe's cultural treasures would just be lost. So they came up with this monumental plan: build a temple in the New World to protect the remains of Italy's greatest poet, Dante Alighieri. And here's the thing you have to understand. Every single detail in this building was intentional. The height, 100 meters for the 100 cantos of the poem. The floors, 22 of them, to mirror the 22 stanzas in many of Dante's verses. I mean, every number, every carving, it was all a symbol, just waiting to be read.
Okay, so our journey, just like Dante is, kicks off in hell. We're on the ground floor.
So you walk into this central hall, and it's split into 9 massive vaulted archways. Each one, it represents one of the 9 circles of punishment from Dante's Inferno. You are literally walking through the architecture of the underworld. And the amount of symbolism packed in here is just wow. You've got these ghoulish carvings of dragons and serpents all over the pillars. They represent the sins of the underworld. And get this, even the floor tiles sneak in the green, white, and red of the Italian flag. It's a little patriotic nod from the guys who built it. And if you look closely, hidden on the walls, there are these Latin inscriptions. This one here, it's packed with meaning. It basically reinforces the whole idea that this isn't just an office block. No, it's a modern temple, founded on the solid rock of art and culture. All right, let's start climbing. We're leaving the darkness of hell and heading into the in-between space of purgatory. You can actually feel the building's design getting lighter as you go up. That heavy, dark, ornate stuff on the ground floor, it starts to disappear, replaced by a much simpler, cleaner look. It's a brilliant way to show the soul being purified, right? Shedding its sins as it moves through purgatory and gets closer to the light. Now, these floors are where people work, their offices, and the architecture reflects that idea of transition. It's as if the soul is shedding its worldly baggage, becoming less decorated and more focused as it climbs higher. And now for the final leg of the journey, the climb into heaven itself. And this is where the building really makes you work for it. Yeah, this is where it turns into a real pilgrimage. The elevators, they stop. You have to climb the rest of the way on foot. The staircases get narrower and narrower, really building up the anticipation for what's waiting at the very top. And it is a physical challenge. We're talking 160 steps, squeezing through passages that are only 48 centimeters wide. It's such a clever way to illustrate that key theme in Dante's poem. You don't just waltz into paradise, you have to earn it. When you finally reach the top, that's when you see the building's ultimate purpose, and you get the reward for your climb. Right at the peak, there's this stunning glass dome, and inside is a powerful lighthouse. This represents the Empyrean, the highest heaven, the dwelling place of God. It's the ultimate vision from Dante's poem brought to life. So from almost 100 meters in the air, you get this perfect, uninterrupted, almost godlike view of the entire city. That's your reward for making that allegorical journey through the afterlife. But you know, the architect, Palanti, his vision was even bigger than this. He didn't just build one Dante-inspired skyscraper. He built a twin, the Palacio Salvo, right across the river, the Rio de la Plata, in Montevideo. His grand plan was for their 2 powerful lighthouses to create this symbolic arc of light, like a modern-day Pillars of Hercules, welcoming immigrants to a new world. But it was a dream that physics just wouldn't allow. The curvature of the Earth meant the beams could never, ever meet. So yeah, its original purpose, to be a mausoleum for a medieval poet, that never happened. But the building is still a living, breathing part of the city.
It's been restored, it's celebrated, and today it's filled with offices, a really cool rooftop bar, and thousands of visitors every single year. And get this, its location is just as symbolic as its design. It's right on Avenida de Mayo, which is the city's main ceremonial street. It literally connects the president's offices with the National Congress.
So what you have in Palacio Barolo is this amazing fusion. It's part mystical temple for a 14th century poem, part architectural wonder, and at the same time, a totally functional part of modern Buenos Aires. It just makes you think, doesn't it? The greatest stories aren't always just in books. Sometimes they're written right there in concrete and light, waiting for us to look up and read them in the skyline.